it's not a total loss, right? So give you another chance for a good university, and you have a little more chance in social and all. But and you don't have to take TOEFL. You don't have to take SAT. They will accept you without TOEFL, without SAT. And then when you transfer to Berkeley and UCLA, you don't have to take TOEFL and SAT again. So totally out of that. And they have intensive English program. So even though you don't pass a TOEFL, you go there, they give you intensive English to improve your English. So those are some of the advantages. And then for boarding school, same thing. Very expensive, just like college. And if you're not 18, if you're only 15, that may not be, you're not independent enough to go all the way to the US to attend the boarding school. And that may be a little problem. And then you have 2 to 3 years of residence requirement. You cannot just go 1 year and then go to school. See, the good thing about boarding school is that they have a track record. Most of the students go to Ivy League schools like Harvard, Princeton, Berkeley, MIT, and all. So they have a track record. The school know about that school, the college. They know about the school. So easier for you to get in. Right? And so, well, another advantage for parents anyway. There's no parent here, so we're okay. After they graduate, they don't come back. They lost their kid, or whatever. They don't come back. They're over there. So that's some of the problems. But the advantage, of course, you have a better social experience. See, the problem with the 4-year school, especially for you guys going there, you have a group of friends, maybe 10, maybe 5 to 10 people. You sleep together, you eat together, you go to classes together, everywhere you do together. Your English actually gets worse than now. You don't ever speak English. Everybody speaks Chinese. See, as a group. But boarding school, they force you to stay with other people. So give you a little better social experience. And obviously give you a more personal attention. And then because of the track record, there's a better chance for you to go to school for your top school. Because they know students from that school, they're good. Right? And the course is obviously better. And I'm not sure about number 5, but anyway. So, but you know what assimilate means, right? What does assimilate mean? Assimilate means if you go to America, instead of every day read the newspaper, Chinese newspaper, and eat your mooncake and your rice and all, you want to blend into the culture. You go watch the American football, you do the American way to assimilate. That's what you have to do here in the US. Now, what the mission of this school? It's not what you think. I talked to a lot of coaches, teachers, parents, students. Most of the answers they gave me the wrong answer. Several things. First thing they're looking for passion. They want you to like to do something. In fact, you like it so much that even though you don't sleep, you want to do it. Because getting good grade point average means nothing. It means that you're very good in the high school classes. Obviously, when you go to college, you're not taking that classes anymore. So getting A's means nothing to them. Getting perfect SAT, nothing. Those are 8th, 9th grade math. Big deal if you get perfect score. Most of you get perfect score in the top school anyway. And so, but they want you to be passionate at something. So some of you probably say that, oh, I'm pretty passionate doing computer games. You do it every day, right? Even if your parents kick you, you still want to do it. Which is good. They want you to like to do something, and not simply every day just not doing anything. They're looking for it. So when you fill out your application, think about this. When they read your application, they should know what you like to do the best. Don't just say, oh, I spent five minutes to play basketball, I spent 5 minutes to watch a movie. It's a random stuff. You want them to know what you're good at. 1 or 2 things, not many things. say, well, I want to play computer game, what good is that? It has nothing to do with academic, and nothing to do with what I learned, right? Well, number two, they want to have some impact. If you like to play computer game, they're looking for maybe you write to the company, say, hey, if you change the game a little, it will make it better. Do something about it. Don't just play the game and forget it and go sleep. Right? Do something about it. Tell them what can you do? What can they do to make the game better? Have some impact. Okay. The third one is that they want you to accept challenge. Yeah, you got all A's, but all those A's, they are simple classes. Sewing, cooking, basketball, easy classes, get all A's. So they said, you're not willing to accept challenge. When you see something difficult, you move away from it. You're afraid that you may get low grade, you may fail. Then say, well, if you go to college, you're not going to be able to succeed. Because college, everything's difficult. You got to be willing to take a chance. They much rather you take the most difficult class and get a B than take an easy class and get an A. So it's not just the grade, it's you're mentally, you're not scared of the hard classes. So when you fill out your application, think about this. How can I tell them that you don't mind to accept challenge? Like for example, you go play basketball. Every time you go there, you pick those 5-year-old kids and play with them, and you win every time. But they want you to be, you pick the college player, although you know you're going to lose. But you want to try it, see how far you can go. And that's what they're looking for. Okay? And the number 4 is that they accept you not because you're good in high school. They accept you, they want you to be good in college. How can I tell them that I'm going to be good in college? So it's something called likely to succeed. They want to make sure that you can tell them that, hey, very likely I'm going to be able to graduate with it, learn a lot of stuff. But yeah, in high school, how can you tell them? Well, that's one of the first 3 things I'm doing. They said, if you're passionate about something, then very likely you're going to succeed because you're willing to spend a lot of time on it and go talk to people, read a lot of books, and so on. And you're not afraid to accept challenge. See, those are some of the key words that admission officers use. They read your application, they're thinking about those key words. Does that person indicate any of that stuff? If you simply say, I traveled to Japan and I took this, and it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not a challenge, right? And then they want to make sure that you're mature and independent. You're going to be all by yourself, right? So they want to make sure that you don't cry every night and call mommy for 2 hours, right? They want you to be independent. They want you to know if you have several things, you know which one to do first. Which one is more independent, more important than the other. They want you to be able to tell. Most high school kids, they have no idea. You just do whatever they give you in that order. But you have to be able to rearrange it. The number 6 is not just for college, for high school, and that applies to working place. Do things right. Do the right thing. What's the difference? Can anybody tell what's the difference between the two? See, right now, for you guys, you simply do things right. Teacher give you a test, you get a good answer. Right? The parents say, wash the dish, you wash it. Perfect. And your parents say, good kid. You're simply doing it right. People tell you what to do, and you do it right. College is not looking for that. They want you to be independent. They want you to be able to do the right things. I should do this and not that. Right? And of course, obviously, you should do it right. But still, they want you to know which one to do. Which one I want to major in. Should I go to shopping or should I study? for the test. Do the right things. Right? You're already burned out, you need to go walk around, and you go walk around. They want you to do the right things. And number 7 is also very important. You know your parents get you to take a dance lesson, play the piano, do the violin, play soccer, play basketball, chess, all that stuff, right? They think that, oh, I'm good at sport, I'm good at all those extracurricular activities, and I join a lot of competition, blah, 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 blah. But that's not what they're looking for. Imagine you join 20 activities. If you divide it by per day, you may be spending 5 minutes on each one. You're no good at anything. You're no good. So they're looking for a well-rounded class. What that means is that out of all the people applying, they try to get the best math student. Although they are only good in math and not other things, that's okay. And they're looking for a good writer, a good basketball player, good musician, good pianist. They want that the class consists of all the good students. They don't want you to be good at everything. It's impossible. If you do that, you're not going to be as good as the other guy who focuses on only 1 or 2 things. He's going to be better than you. He's going to get accepted and not you. See? And so they're looking for with a well-rounded student. But a lot of parents, they send you to do all the activities. They think that you have to be good at everything. There's no way you get good at everything. If you do all that stuff, you're probably no good at any of this stuff. All right, so they're looking for a class with all the good students. The most important part, your essay. You probably know that you have to write an essay. All the college, you have to write several essays. The essay talking and not writing. They don't want you to write an essay. They want you to kind of like talking to them. You know, they don't want you to write something very formal. I have won this and this award. I have traveled to this. You're writing. You're not talking to me. If I talk to you, you don't say that. One thing that they want to do is that after they finish reading your essay, they got to be able to tell another person who you are. The essay got to identify who you are. I always tell that story that one girl applied to Berkeley, and I read a lot of essays in Berkeley. That the girl, she worked in the like 7-Eleven cashier, taking money. She wrote the essay simply saying that one day a little kid came into the store and stole something. And she's kind of struggled, not knowing whether to report him to the manager. Because he looked like very, very thin and probably hungry and just wanted to take something very poor. Right? So just simply wanted to take something to eat. She struggled, and she wrote about her struggle. And she wrote about her decision whether to report or not. List some of the things that she should do it and things that she shouldn't do it. That's it. That's the essay. Had nothing to do how good she is. But then after you finish, everybody knows that supermarket girl. Everybody knows her. And she organized it. That's what they want to see. Well organized. She knows exactly what she's supposed to do and not supposed to do. What's good, what's bad. See, very simple thing. It shows everything. And they liked that essay, and she got accepted. Not because she said, oh, I got A's in all my classes, and I got gold medal in that competition. They said, why are you telling me? On the other part of the application, you said it already. I know you want a gold medal. Why are you telling me again? A lot of people want gold medal, so I don't know who you are. See? But everybody, see, even now, you know who the girls are. 1 year later, if I come back and say, remember the girl working in the supermarket, you'll remember. That's what they're looking for in terms of the essay. You got to be talking to him, not writing to him. Writing too formal. You got to be like conversation. You're talking to the admission officer, and you're telling him who you are, and he'll respond to you. Activities. What kind of activity can enhance your admission? I mean, you can say all, think about what they're looking for, but what can you do? Tell them. Well, here's some skill they're looking. They're looking for a good communication skill. That's very important. I don't know if you heard about the mushroom theory. The mushroom theory means, especially in the working place, they said, you're good, we're going to put you in the corner office, give you a computer, close the door, close the light like a mushroom, and let you grow. You don't talk to anybody, you don't see anybody in the corner office every day. It's called mushroom theory. That's not the kind of people that you're looking for. They want you to be able to communicate, tell people what you want to do. If you go on vacation, somebody got to take over, right? Your work. So you got to be able to tell the people what are you doing. You know, you got to communicate. You discover something very important. That's not good enough. You got to be able to communicate to people. So that's a number one, communication skill. Verbal and written. If you cannot tell people what you discover, it's no good. Teamwork. You got to be able to work with other people. Again, mushroom theory. They don't want to send you alone in the corner office and let you grow. They want you to work with other people. Because other people, some people are good writing, some people are good presentation, and some people are good computer skill. So if you work together, the project will be much better. Right? And so they want that. And then people skill. You got to be able to manage people. Let people be able to work for you. Right? And then time management. You know, if you got several projects, how long will it take? You got to, you got several classes. How am I going to juggle the time so I can finish all the work? So you got to manage your time. A lot of people, especially high school kids, they're very bad at management time. You know, they spend time doing some game or watching a little TV. When something's very important about due, you keep putting it off. You're not managing time. And you have to have the ability to set priorities. Which one is important, which one is not so important. I need to do the important one first. So you have to recognize which one is important. Right? Multitasking. You always have several homework to do at the same time. How can you juggle, do them at the same time? How can you talk to people and do your work at the same time? Watch a TV and do your homework at the same time. And the last one is they want people to have international experience because the world getting smaller and smaller. When you go to a company, there's a lot of people from other countries. So you got to have international experience. Like for example, there's a company, a car company, General Motors. It's a very big company in the US, General Motors. They have a car called Chevrolet. It's one of the biggest, right? And one of the models is called Nova. Very popular in the US, Nova. They try to sell it to Spain. Not selling, nobody buying it. And later they find out why. In Spanish, Nova means cannot move. That's why nobody buying it. They want people to have that international experience, know what other people want, right? Because different country, different culture. So very important part, international. Before, that's not important. Everybody is from the same place. That's not, right now it's very important. So the college are looking for international experience. So later I'm going to tell you how you get those kind of skills. Because those are the skills they're looking for. You can publish a book. You can publish an article, writing skill, right? Getting A's in English in a class means nothing. If you can write something, a company is willing to publish it, even school newspaper is willing to publish it, that means something to them. Extracurricular activity, right? Making presentations like what I'm doing here, not afraid, you guys are all staring at me, and I'm not afraid of that. That kind of skill. They want, how can you tell them? Well, you have to make some presentation in class, right? So that improves your skill. So that's something you can tell them. You want to manage a project, not doing a project, manage a project, telling people what to do, and make sure you meet the deadline, and knowing what you're supposed to do. You know, you want to be a leader. not simply doing the project, you want to manage the project. And that's something you tell them, that you have management skill. You can manage people working for you. Don't do that to your mother. You want to manage people who work for you and are willing to work for you, right? And deadline management, knowing which one's the deadline. Right? That can show the college you possess that kind of skill. And again, know which task is more important than the other priority. So know which project to do first. And you can join the international competition. Not just competition, international competition. So you can talk to the other students, know what kind of education they have, what kind of culture they have. Right now, I'm involved with 3 competitions. One is AMO, which is this one here. That's in the US. We have a lot of international teams come to AMO to compete. It's a mathematics, but it's a team competition. So places like Berkeley, they recognize how important AMO is. So in fact, if you join AMO, and from international students, they will give you, I have that here. That directly from Berkeley. With Berkeley's seal, signed by the Berkeley Math Department Chair. Specifically addressed to you, not to in general, specifically to you, telling you that you are the kind of student we are looking for. Because you're joining an international competition, you are not afraid English, because you want to go there and listen to all the instruction in English, right? You go there and look at all the colleges, right? And know what you are. And then when you take the competition, you have to stay there for a few days. You stay in the dorm, so you know what the university is about, what to stay, and what kind of classroom they have. Those are the kind of students they're looking for. So they're willing to give you a letter to invite you to apply to it. And a lot of people use the letter as a recommendation letter to Berkeley, saying that how good you are. And so they recognize. If you join the international competition, they will give you that. And then the other international is, I'm going to go to China next week. We have a competition there. Another thing about AMO is that it's a team competition. I think most of the competition, you just go there and take the test and get out. But this one's a team. You have to work together. You have to solve the problem together. You have to communicate with each other. And so that's why Berkeley is looking to send out a letter to people for that. And you go to international conferences and exchange. You're telling the college, I'm not afraid to go to outside my country. Obviously, if you go to college in the US, you're going outside the country by yourself. If you're not afraid to go to international competitions and conferences, you're no good. So you're indirectly telling the good school that I don't mind to do that. I'm willing to accept some challenges. And all the travel, summer camp, that tells you you know what you have. So those are all the important stuff. So think about this, all of that stuff when you apply. I'm finished with that. I'm willing to take any questions you have. Any questions you have. Anybody? Any questions about college? Or some of the classes you want to attend that you want to know about? I mean, some of the classes I can tell you, for example, I attended Caltech. Caltech, every year, they accept 200 students from all over the world, 200. Maybe 150 from the US and 50 from outside the US. Very selective. Their average SAT score, 2,330. I think the perfect score is 2004. The reason they don't have 2004 is because a few people, they want #1 in the world in the science, computer science, or in mathematics. So although their SAT score very low, they still accept them, so they're lower than average. But most of the students accept them. They are perfect score, SAT. So that's why some students, they got perfect score and 4.0, they got rejected, and they go to college and call them and say, hey, how come you rejected me? I got perfect everything. Well, the response is that, do you know how many perfect score we rejected you? You are just one of them. No big deal. Yes?
What is SAT?
What's it?
What is SAT? How do you
SAT is it's almost like your admission test, except none of the colleges offer admission test, and we don't have a graduation test for high school. You graduate, you graduate. You don't take the test. You don't have to worry about taking tests. But there's a standard test, standardized test that you take. It's called SAT, and the three parts to it. One is the verbal. That means English. They ask you things about grammar. They give you a little paragraph, several paragraph article. You read it and you answer questions, right? And also your vocabulary, reading. And the second part is math. The third part is writing. You have to write something and they grade it. And they give you points. It's 800 each for a total of 2,400. And so it's based on your score. Now the lowest you can get is 600. You cannot get lower than 600. Because even if you turn in a blank piece of paper, they give you 200 each. They don't want you to jump over the building, get a Z. Right? 200 each. And almost all the colleges use it. But that's only a very small portion of it. Obviously, if you have a very low score, they won't consider you. But if you have high score, there's no guarantee they'll take you. They look at other things, right? If everything equal, obviously probably the one with the higher score. So that's one of the small parts. Just like TOEFL. TOEFL is test your English. SAT test your verbal, writing, and math. So the total before it's only 600. Last few years they added writing to make it 2004. When I took it, it's only 1,600. I can tell you my scores is 13. It's equivalent to maybe like 1,800. Berkeley average is about 21. Berkeley. All the Stanford, Harvard is 22 something. I think Caltech's only one over 2,300. But the test is actually pretty easy. You guys tend to take it probably no sweat. It's only testing. They said you only test your 8th grade skill. So getting a perfect score means nothing. It shows them that you're a good 8th grader. Okay, any other? Yes. See, I know you're going to ask, so that's why I'm pointing at you.
We're going to apply for a religious fleet, and then when will be the perfect time for us to take the SAT?
When is what? I didn't get the second part.
When will be a perfect time for us to take the SAT?
People want to take SATs earlier, like in the summer or May or something. The reason being that if they got a low score, they want to retake. You can take as many times as you want. You can take it every month. So they want to take it early, like before summer, like May, when you're 11th grade. You want to take that, or maybe take it maybe August or September, because you have to submit your application in November. But you don't have to have your SAT. You can submit your SAT like I guess like January. I think January will be the last day you can submit the SAT. So some people they actually take many times, but there's a problem with that. Especially international students, I know they got 2360, right? So close to the perfect. So they take it again. Oh, 2380. They take it again, 2390. So they want to take it until they get 24. That's actually bad for you. University look at your application. Yes, you got 24, but you took it 10 times. That guy, you waste all your time. There's no difference between 23, 24. It's really the same thing. It's by luck. Sometimes you guess the answer. Sometimes just make a silly mistake. But you waste all your time. You're supposed to spend the time to do some other activities, go take a competition or learn something else, some skill. They said, you're not right for college. You don't know how to use your time. You waste your time for that lousy 60 points. They don't like it. Actually, it got a negative effect, even though you got a perfect score. So you got 23, forget it. Do something else to show that you're good. 23, anytime you get over 2000, 2001, you're good. They're not going to say, that guy got 2210, you only got 2,200, that guy got 2,210, 10 points more than you, so I take him and not you. That never happened. It'll never happen that way. So those are 60, 100 points. But if you got like 1,700, you may want to take it again. You may want to beat the 2,000 mark. That's okay. Then they can see. Because they said that you're really trying hard. And you have studied, knowing what to get. But 2310, 2000, 2320, they think you waste your time. It shows your character, your personality. So when you're in the college, you probably spend all your time doing something, nothing. You waste your time. They don't like you. You might as well go to 2 years. Okay? Any other? Yes. How's that? In the U.S., really, they don't care. They don't care if Taiwan, China, Hong Kong, they don't care. That's not their business. They only look at you as an individual. In fact, for the University of California, about maybe 10 years ago, actually got to a federal court. They ruled that they cannot use quota for admission. That means they cannot say, oh, I only accept 50 people from Taiwan, 20 people from California, so many people. They cannot do that. It's illegal. I think it's a Prop 806. They cannot do that. So, in fact, when you fill out the application, not so much international, they know where you're from. But for American students, sometimes they say, oh, say whether you're Asian or black or Hispanic, you can lie about it. They're not going to check. There's no way they can check. Oh, we don't have an ID to show I'm an Asian. Right? And in fact, they have an item that say, do not wish to reveal. I don't want to tell you. And it's okay. And they specifically said that's for statistic only. So in other words, sometimes they say, oh, we have 40% Asian, but not for admission. They cannot, if you can show that they use that for admission, you can sue them. They're in trouble. Yeah, so you shouldn't have to worry about that. It's strictly you. You're competing with yourself. You're not competing with other people. Sometimes it's by luck, right? Last year, let's say they have 10 very good math students who won a lot of competition and they accepted 4 of them. This year, and you're number 5, so you didn't get accepted. But this year, maybe they only have 2. And you're one of them. I'm going to take both of them. And you're in. Same score. It's not a lot of times by luck. Now, the other thing is that a lot of people, they think they're smart, right? They say, okay, Berkeley. Berkeley, they have different departments. They have college of engineering, business school, college of chemistry, letter and science. Letter and science is general. English, history, geography, math, physics, they all belong to letter and science. And then they have, like computer science. They have one computer science department in letter and science, and they have one under college of engineering. So some people, they think they're smart. They say, okay, I'm going to apply to, because I'm a girl. Most girls don't like applied math. So I'm going to apply to applied math in letter and science. Maybe I'm the only girl applying. If they have a thick girl, I'm it. So for sure, I'll get it. Right? So that's the trick. Yes, maybe true, you get it. They say, okay, now I'm going to transfer to college engineering because I want to be electrical engineer. And you want to do the transfer, say no. You got stuck at applied math. You will be applied math. You cannot transfer. You cannot transfer between colleges. But I know a lot of people use that trick. But if you just want to go to Berkeley and think about the major, it's a good trick. You know, especially for the girl, they will apply, like maybe a boy, you know, apply for home cooking, home economics, thinking I'm the only guy, you know, they have to take it. Yeah, in a way it's true. They will take you if you're the only one. But they don't want to take all girls or all boys. But you have to know something. Once you get in, you cannot transfer to another group. So that's something you think about. Now, some of the smaller colleges, like for example, Brown University, which is one of the Ivy League schools, one of the good schools. Right? You don't have to go in and indicate your major. See, Berkeley, they have a list of majors. You have to pick one and then take the classes. But in Brown University, you can go in and talk to the counselor and say, that's what I want to do. You don't have that major. And they will arrange. If you want to major in that kind of stuff, just take the following classes and you'll get that major. Or those not listed in the school. But they are willing to work with you. But Berkeley, you cannot do that. So small school, you have an advantage. So don't think that you always want to go to Berkeley. Berkeley got 37,000 people. That may not be what you want to do. You know, the small school, if you miss a class and professor call you at night, say, are you sick? You didn't come to my class. At Berkeley, you go see the professor, who are you? Don't know you. So you want to write recommendation letter, they have no idea who you are. But the small school, they know. See? So something you consider. Don't think that you want to go to the big school. The big school and the famous school. You know, look at Harvard. Harvard, actually a lot of people graduate Harvard didn't like it. They recommend people don't go there. The reason being that Harvard is well known as a, what's the technical term they use? Oh, it's a great inflation school. If you go in, almost everybody get A's. See, you have three kinds of colleges. One is very easy to get in, very easy to get out. Those are the low-level colleges. And then you have places like Harvard. Very difficult to get in, but very easy to get out. Because they don't want anybody from Harvard, drop out from Harvard. They try to graduate everybody. And then you have schools like Berkeley and MIT and Caltech. Very difficult to get in, very difficult to get out. If you look at Caltech, you go in, 2 years of physics, 1 year of chemistry, 2 years of math. They don't care if you're an English major. You take them. No choice. 1 year of engineering, 2 years of computer science, no choice. You can be a history major, French major. You take them. And those are the hardest. Now, Caltech and MIT are the two schools that, one, there's no honor degree. I'm sure Taiwan University do the same thing. If you're very good, they invite you to graduation, give you a little degree, although you don't graduate there, right? It's an honor degree, right? Most universities will have that. But Caltech, MIT, no. Some people will approach to MIT and say, oh, we try to give that person an honor degree. You know what they do? They give you an application form. Apply. And then you get your degree. Otherwise, no degree. So that's one thing. The second thing is that, I'm telling you that is so that you can decide, are those a school for me? The second thing is that there's no honor program. At Berkeley, they have graduation with great distinction. That means a very high level. And then graduation with distinction. And then graduation with honor. And then graduate, and then not graduate. Those people will drop out, right? But Caltech, MIT, you don't have that. Number one, graduate student valedictorian. Give a speech and all that stuff. They don't have it. They said, if you pass all your classes, you graduate, that's a wonder. That's it. You're not going to get number one, number two rank, nothing. It doesn't matter C or B or A. To MIT and Caltech, you're the same. Getting A or getting C, they're really the same thing. Because you're challenged enough that if you pass, that's already good. Some professor, they said, I don't give up A unless you can show to me that you're better than me. Otherwise, you don't get A. They never give out A. See? That's why they said, as long as you graduate, that's it. You're honored. There's nothing else. Now, Harvard, 20 years ago, tried to get MIT to join with them because Harvard didn't have an engineering school. They're not that good at engineering. So if you want to do engineering, don't go to Harvard. It's waste your time, right? So they asked MIT to join Harvard as their engineering school. And of course, Harvard got lots of money. MIT turned them down. They don't. Because they lost their identity. There's no more MIT. There's an engineering school at Harvard. And then about 10 years ago or so, they make another offer to MIT. And this time they say, okay, you can use the name MIT. You are independent. We give you the money so long we can cross-register, we can work together, and so on. And the diploma, it will say, you're a graduate, Harvard, MIT, /MIT. So not only you get MIT, you get Harvard name on your diploma, right? And they give you the money to run your program. So they thought it's very generous, right? MIT turned it down. And you know what's the reason? The reason because the diploma. With the Harvard name on our diploma, you downgraded our diploma. They don't want it. Because with the Harvard name, they said, that's bad. They made you not as good as just an MIT. They do have a what they call it, cross registration. That means you can take class in Harvard, Harvard student can take class at MIT, and they recognize the class you took. But if you look at the statistic, many MIT students will take class at Harvard, but not the other way around. Because all the classes they offer is technical classes, very difficult. And most likely, they're not going to be able to handle it. But the MIT, they got a very common saying that if you got low grade point average, you can fix that. Go take a couple of classes at Harvard, to raise your grade point. All the classes get A's. If you're at Stanford, see all the schools, like Berkeley, they have a deadline, drop date. If you pass that date, you cannot drop anymore. You got F, you got F. You got A, you got A. You cannot drop. You're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna drop it, I'm taking it again next year. You cannot do that. Stanford, there's no drop date. You take your final, when you turn in your final, you can put down on top, I wish you could drop it, because you couldn't do the final, it's too difficult for you. You just say, just drop it, and it will not show up on your record. So the whole idea behind that is that they don't want people to fail. But Berkeley and MIT and Caltech said, if you fail, you fail. No way out. They don't care. See? Any other questions? See, you have to get used to university in the US. I don't know if they do that in Taiwan. All the universities, they have rivalry. That means enemy. Right? Berkeley, Stanford, Harvard, Yale, MIT, Caltech. That's rivalry. You don't wear red collar to Berkeley. You don't wear blue collar to Stanford. They kick you out. When you watch a ball game, you wear the wrong color, they raise up, pass on the top, and they demand you to take it off. You have to talk. Everybody say, take it off, take it off, take it off. But it's a friendly rivalry. Several years ago, Caltech, we have a big cannon. Cannon, shooting people, very huge, heavy. And guarding the flaming house, Caltech got 7 houses. Guarding the flaming house. One day, in the morning of Monday, disappeared. No more. That's video, several tons, very heavy. They couldn't find it. So they went to the neighbor, Hockey Mud, which is also a technical school, very good technical school. They think they took it. And so they talked to them, they said, no, we didn't take it. Somebody took it. They couldn't figure out why. 1 week later, they look at the internet. The cannon. In the back, MIT's half dome. They took it. Nobody knows how they did it. They moved 3,000 miles all the way So Caltech supposing traditionally, they supposed to go there and steal that cannon back. But there's no way it's going to happen. Everybody knows you're coming. So, no, so finally the administration write a letter to the lawyer, return it or I'm going to sue you. So they returned, but all the students, they didn't like that because that's not the right way to do it. So now if you join AMO, for example, Taiwan students, AMO, I took them to Caltech and ECI for tours and all, professors talk to them and all. And so they will see the Caltech still have the cannon, but they have a big chain around the cannon to make sure it's secure. Nobody can take it again, right? And now Caltech is making money out of that. So I didn't bring it, but they come up with a pen. The pen, you can see that if you hold it this way, there's an MIT and then Caltech, and then there's a water in between. There's a little cannon, plastic cannon inside, right? So when you write, the cannon is going MIT slowly back to Caltech. And then in the back is a short writing about the history. It said April 2000, I think 2009. The cannon traditionally is a simple guarding framing house. But 2009, MIT borrowed it. And we got it back in 2010. And so if you hold it this way, the cannon is at MIT end. But when you write, the cannon go back to Caltech. So they make money. That's how they work. And you gotta enjoy that because if you don't, the school you don't feel fit in. If you don't like that kind of stuff, because they love to do that kind of stuff. So you have to think about this. I can tell you all day about these good things MIT and Harvard. One time they had MIT, they call it TIM, their mascot, TIM, because it's reverse MIT. You know what's a beaver? A beaver, they build dam. What do you call it? They build a dam and so water. Yeah, something like that. It's well known as an engineer. So both MIT and Caltech use the beaver. So they brought the two guys with the beaver outfit went to Harvard. Harvard got a statue of Harvard, the statue. They climbed up on him, sitting on top of his head, and people taking pictures. And the Harvard students passed by, so Russia and kicked him out. So he got to jump out and run because they were going to kick him. And they left a glove, the claw, down on the ground. Harvard students picked it up. So they went back. The outfit is very expensive. You cannot just replace the glove, you have to replace the whole thing. It costs several $100. Right? So the MIT got to go in and they sent out a couple of girls to Harvard, check it out, see who, try to sweet talk them, see who got them, where they hide the glove. They want to go back and steal the glove back. So they found out one of the freshmen at Harvard got the glove and hiding in his room. So the MIT kind of stupid. They have about 10 people with the outfit, like an army outfit, with the water gun, boarded the bus and went to Harvard. It's only about maybe 12 blocks away. So took the bus and they knew that freshmen would have a class. So they went to his dorm, picked the lock, and go in and search the room trying to get the claw back. But they couldn't find it. They keep searching, but nothing. And then the freshman came back. And then he called security, right? So the MIT student just rushed it back to MIT. So the mission failed. And holding a water gun to go to Harvard. So another, he's a math major. Another MIT guy, he's a senior, fourth year. He went to Harvard, talked to the freshman, as if he's from Harvard Crimson, which is the newspaper. He said, we know that you got the clause, we know that whole incident made our interview, and we want to publish it. Well, the freshman is very happy, right? The MIT wears the red outfit, the MIT is blue, So we went there, and so he's happy to talk about it. They said, oh, maybe we'll take some pictures. Why don't you take the claw, and we'll go to the Harvard statue. and so we'll take some pictures. So he grabbed the claw, and went to the Harvard statue. And they said, maybe you should climb up just like the way they climbed up, and we'll take some pictures. So he climbed it, and he couldn't do it because the claw. And I was like, let me hold the wall for you, and then you climb. Another guy climb up the wall. MIT student grab the car, turn around and run like that. So several Harvard students chasing around. He was hiding behind the bush for several hours until everything okay. And then he came back out and then went back to MIT. Next day, MIT newspaper. So if you don't like that, you're not right for those in school because they do that all the time. You know, first year